Senate says no legal basis for Senator Natasha resuming legislative duties. Ahead of the National Security Summit by the National Assembly, Senate oversights military formations across 6 geopolitical zones. Plus, leadership of the National Assembly mourns former President Muhammadu Buhari. Good evening and welcome to NTA Parliamentary News. I am Ene Ojonugba. Ahead of the National Security Summit by the National Assembly, the Senate Committee on Army is on oversight visits to military formations across the 6 geopolitical zones to gather information that will help in securing the nation. Chairman of the committee, Senator Abdulaziz Yaradua, stated this during interactions with the government officials and military commanders in Katsina State. National Assembly correspondent Isa Mohammed reports.
The legislators visited 171 Battalion Barrack in Daura, headquarters of 17th Brigade in Katsina, and inspected some completed and ongoing projects. The brigade commander, Operation Fansanyama, Brigadier General Bimbola Omo Pariola, briefed the committee on activities of the task force.
Destruction of their camps and recovery of weapons and equipment, as well as rescue of kidnapped victims that were subsequently reunited with their families.
The committee and government of Katsina State assured of more collaboration in support of the efforts of the security agencies to succeed in the fight against terrorism in the state.
The Air Force, the police, the DSS, civil defense, and I think for the first time I see the synergy between all the security forces. And they have also accommodated our own security architecture, and they're working together in most of the communities.
Continue to collaborate with the state governors to ensure relative security is achieved in the country, thereby opening doors for development and economic activities. Most importantly, the security of lives and property of Nigerians.
The oversight continue in other geopolitical zones of the country. From Daura, Katsina State, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
While the 2025 National Conference on Public Accounts and Fiscal Governance continues with a call for true fiscal governance and economic reforms on national and Africa's sub-regional developments, National Assembly correspondent Joshua Ogunjide tells us more.
The Day 2's theme of the conference is Reform Pathways, Collaborative Strategies for Designing Intergovernmental Fiscal Relations for Efficiency, Equity, and Sustainable Impact. The National Assembly is therefore charting a way forward in reviewing the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007 alongside demand for accountability on the part of the Office of the Accountant General and Auditor General of the Federation.
When you bring such document before us, even if we don't need your attention at all, we won't call you. If we analyze your document and there's no need for you to appear, we will not even invite you. If we invite you, it is because there are identified gaps in the submissions that you have made.
In the event that you find out that that company is not fit and proper, all encompassing, don't just refuse to give the contract. Write back to the member of the National Assembly. Sir, this is to let you know that the company you introduced is not qualified, and so we have not considered it.
Participants agree that Africa must strengthen public accountability through institutional reforms and civic engagement in combating our sub-regional fiscal governance.
So on budget, that is, I want to blame the Accountant General, I want to blame the Auditor General. If the budget process has no definite cut-off point, then you would expect spillovers. Let's first see that process. Let's have a definite budget against which public expenditure is then monitored and reported on.
Key focus of all the panel sessions are budgeting, procurement reforms, audit institutions, legislative engagement, digital transformation, transparency tools, and public accounts oversight. In Abuja, Joshua Ogujide, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the partnership between ECOWAS Parliament and the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, an arm of the National Assembly, is yielding results in the area of capacity building. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports that at the closing of training for ECOWAS parliamentary staff, the Institute pledged commitment in advancing institutional development, regional integration and capacity strengthening to democratic excellence.
2 weeks training program now over, with a spectrum that touches stakeholder engagement, strategic to the role of diplomacy. Experts say the workshop came at the right time to equip parliamentary staff as strategic enablers of effective governance, policy formulation, and increasing data-driven decision-making.
The true value of this training will be reflected, most importantly, in how effectively we all apply what we have learned, especially to democracy within the sub-region.
We wanted to come up with policy guidelines on how effective our current consultation mechanism with national parliaments, civil society, youth, women, and other communities, considering the diversified nature of ECOWAS in itself.
Participants are expected to cascade the knowledge gained to their respective roles with renewed purpose to make impacts to parliamentary practice. In Abuja, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Senate has emphasized that nowhere in the certified true copy of the judgment delivered by Justice Binta Nyako directed the Senate to recall Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan before the expiration of her suspension, as the learned judge only made advisory observations which are not enforceable or binding in law. Chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Yemi Adaramodu, while responding to a letter from the law firm of Numa San & Co., addressed to the leadership of the National Assembly on behalf of the suspended senator, stated that Senate will consider and deliberate on the judgment and consequently take a constitutional informed position and convey the outcome to the affected senator and the public. The statement adds that the enrolled order clearly demonstrates that the Senate's disciplinary powers under Section 60 of the Constitution remain intact and were not invalidated. Adaramodu said there is no legal basis upon which Senator Natasha can resume legislative duties at this time. The letter from Senator Natasha's lawyers, dated 11 July 2025, had requested the immediate recall of the suspended senator to the chamber on the Tuesday, 15th July 2025. The State House of Assembly has passed a resolution on a motion calling on the state government as a matter of urgency to dualize the Ahmad Rufai Road to ease transportation challenges. The member representing Sokoto North, Hussaini Tokoro Faru, moved the motion in today's plenary. Shehu Yusuf Anka reports.
The Ahmad Rufai Road, well known as Diga Agri, is among the busiest roads that connect people from different areas in the metropolis. This informed the decision of the lawmaker, member representing Sokoto North 2, Hussaini Tukur Faru, on the need for the dualization of Ahmad Rufai Road from Ofakati, Diga Agri to Hubbaran Shehu roundabout in Sokoto North local government area of Sokoto State. The road is strategic, serving many densely populated communities and public places, including the Sultan's Palace and the historic Hubbaran Shehu. Construction of roads has been one of the priorities of the current administration in the state, as contained in the 9-point SMART agenda, and the need for the dualization of the road. The current single-lane road can no longer contain the increase in traffic volume, thereby causing frequent accidents.
The road connects 3 major places, such as Sultan Palace, Hubbaran Shehu, and the Old Market. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, in view of the gigantic effort of the current administration and the improvement and upgrading of infrastructure, such as roads, drainages, and also as part of the 9-point agenda of His Excellency Ahmed Ali Sokoto.
Members, on their separate comments, highlighted the economic importance of the route, which, if realized, will reduce grid lock on the Aliu Jodi and all market roads and promote economic growth of the affected area. The Speaker, Tukurba Labodinga, announced the unanimous approval of the House with a call on the state government to consider the dualization of roads for the benefit of the people. Thereafter, the House adjourned the death plenary till tomorrow for the continuation of the legislative proceedings. From Sokoto State House of Assembly, Shahi Yusuf Anka, NTA News.
We now take a short break. The news continues shortly. Please stay with us.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the marketing department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has expressed profound sadness over the passing of immediate past President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, describing him as a statesman and leader of great integrity. The Senate President, in a statement, condoles with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the government and people of Katsina State, and General Buhari's immediate family over the demise of the former president. He described the departed former president as a fine military officer who served Nigeria with zeal and patriotism upon retirement, transited to a democratic icon. Akpabio said Buhari's leadership and legacy will be remembered for his unwavering commitment to our nation's development and stability, as his life signified honesty, truth, and justice. In the same vein, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, has described former President Muhammadu Buhari as one of the most patriotic Nigerians who served the nations diligently. In a condolence message, Speaker Abbas notes that Buhari carved a niche for himself as an incorruptible leader and a man of integrity with unflinching commitment to nation building. The Speaker commiserates the Buhari family, the Daura Emirate, as well as the government and people of Katsina State. World leaders paid glowing tributes to former President Muhammadu Buhari, who died at the age of 82. Charles Alpha compiled some of the outpouring condolences from within and outside Africa.
Sierra Leone's president and current chairman of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, Julius Maada Bio, in a statement on X, paid his tribute, saying, "On behalf of the people of the Republic of Sierra Leone, I want to express our heartfelt condolences to the family of the late President Muhammadu Buhari, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the people of Nigeria during this incredibly difficult time." For President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa, former Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari's leadership brought the two nations closer together. He said, "As South Africa, we stand with the nation of Nigeria in your mourning," saying he led Nigeria as a patriotic and championed not only the best attributes of his nation during his leadership, but of the future that awaited his great country. Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed expressed his condolences over the death of former Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari. He said, "On behalf of the government of people of Ethiopia, I extend sincere condolences to the family of former President Muhammadu Buhari and the people and government of Nigeria. Our thoughts are with you during this time of mourning." President Samia Suluhu of Tanzania said she is deeply saddened to learn of the passing of the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. She said, "On behalf of the government and the people of the United Republic of Tanzania, I convey our heartfelt condolences." She honored Buhari's dedication to peace and development across Africa. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed deep sorrow over the death of former Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari. He recalls their legacy of friendship and diplomacy, describing him as a statesman whose legacy of diplomacy and commitment to bilateral ties will be fondly remembered. The government of the People's Republic of China, in a statement on X, said, "Our deepest condolences to the people of Nigeria on the passing of Muhammadu Buhari, former president of Nigeria." The statement says, "We mourn a resolute leader whose unwavering dedication to Nigeria's unity and enduring legacy." The U.S. also extends its sympathies to the Nigerian leader while acknowledging Buhari's contributions to the nation's democratic development. The American embassy in Nigeria described the former president as a leader defined by service and discipline. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
On our discussion segment, we have Honorable Leke Abejide, Chairman House Committee on Customs, to give his perspectives on some legacy legislations of the late former President Muhammadu Buhari. What's your take on the demise of President Tinubu's predecessor, Muhammadu Buhari?
It's a figure that we cannot forget in a hurry. And based on his antecedent, especially when he was the Minister of State, everything was in order. Why was the order of the day? War against indiscipline. So anything you do, you know that somebody is checking and will give you thorough discipline That was Buhari then. Buhari, the Agbon regime. And they actually worked. Not only that, it was toppled in 1985, but Abacha brought him back to help PTF. And he actually used the office to provide infrastructures across the country, especially roads. Roads that were never constructed, he did them. So his legacy is speaking for him. Then when he came in as president, insecurity was at the highest level. He was able to bring it down to some level before complacency set in due to his sickness. So he was a great leader.
What are some key legislations he will be remembered for that he accented to?
All those key achievements like PIA, even the electoral acts, he also tried to make our election look better. So you mentioned about disability bill, people with special needs, it's sensitive to it. And there are other good ones, most especially Nigeria Customs Service Act 2023. Custom has been operating on a law enacted in 1958 called SEMA, Customs and Excise Management Act, which is archaic. Most of those sections are not in reality with the current happenings. So, and we started the issue of repealing SEMA, and the president declined assent about 4 times, but he eventually signed it into law before he leaves power. In fact, a month before he leaves power, he signed it into law. Because I was persistent, keep on working. When the decline assent, go again and look at. So God helped before he left. And today, Nigeria Customs is reformed. So President Buhari actually tried in these areas. Not only that, he tried to work on the rail system. He tried to work on the rail system to make sure at least there's an alternative means of transportation, which is achieved to a certain level, though not completely. And in the area of power, he did his best. It's only that it was difficult for him to get through, but at least there was an improvement to some level. So I believe the area of economy, that is where the challenge was. So was not that good.
What lessons can present and future leaders learn from the late former President Muhammadu Buhari?
Present and future leaders should learn to accommodate people, to serve selflessly like him. The reason why he's so popular in the North especially was because of his first coming, whereby he made life simple for the masses, where the middlemen and the so-called businessmen were hoarding foods to make it scarce, make it expensive, to deprive the poor. And he asked all the military officers to start going to warehouses, go to stores. Once they open your store and they see these items, they will distribute it free to the masses. So that's why you see masses really followed him so we should learn honesty. To be honest, that's one of the qualities of a leader. Honesty is key.
Honorable Abejide, thank you for your insights on the news. This is where we conclude parliamentary news. Remember, you can still watch this newscast and other programs on our social media handles showing on your screen. Thank you for watching. On behalf of the production crew, I am Ene Ojonugba. Bye for now.